Hey there folks, back at you with another video. Today we're going to start working on this first gen Dodge. This is right now an automatic. It's got a 12 valve P-pump Cummins in it right now. As you can tell right there's the P-pump. And it's got an automatic transmission in it. And customer says he wants to have it out. And he wants this NV5600 in it. So here we go. I'm going to take you on a journey with me on this conversion. I have never done this yet on one of these trucks like this, so it'll be an interesting ride to figure out, because this one here has the NP205 passenger side drop T-case, and this T-case here is the driver's side drop. So we're going to have to pull that off. We're going to put the NP205 transfer case on there. We're going to have to see what all we have to do to make that work. We got some other pieces here. The adapter plate that comes with this transmission. Got that right here. The clutch and the pedals that came all, the customer picked this all up. They came all out of the same truck. So be curious to see how we can make this all fit and how we can make this all work. It's a pretty nice truck, pretty much rust free. So it's got a little bit of, it's got a couple dings and whatnot, but yeah, we're going to start pulling the automatic transmission first, and we're going to see what all we're going to need to make that all work. So please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. Don't cost nothing. Let's get past the intro and let's get into this. Alright, so like I explained at the intro, we're going to start pulling. First things we're going to do is going to pull the automatic transmission out. Going to have to jack the truck up high enough so I can clear my transmission jack and the transmission from the frame rail of the truck. That's right there. So otherwise I can never get the transmission out. So already done some measurements. I'm going to have to jack the truck up with about 12 inches to clear the frame rail and to get that transmission out and get the other one in. So we're going to do that first, and then we're going to start pulling the T-case, then we'll pull the transmission. So we'll bring you along for the ride. So here we go. Let's get busy. Alright, so we got our ways off the ground now. The way I do that is, so we got about 8 inches right there that we're going to need. And then we got the highest point of this transmission is from bellhousing to bellhousing, which is 18. So that gives us 26 inches. I'm trying to do the tape measure here with one hand. Bear with me, guys. And right now we're at 27. The bell housing sits more like right here, but you know, want to make sure that we clear the shackles, the spring, all that, because you rather have a couple extra inches to spare than being 1 inch too short. That's what she said. Hardy har har. So we got enough clearance now to pull that transmission, being on the transmission jack. So we can get going now. I got my super duper heavy duty jack stands there. I'm gonna pull this out. So I normally use those for farm equipment. I mean, these are like, I can't remember what the tonnage is on them, but a lot of times you don't need the tons, you need the reach, like in this situation. So the heavier duty ones, they handle more tons, they're taller. So we got those two in place. Put them under the axle, because we don't really have to be at the axle, we need to be at the back of the engine, so that still gives us enough room to operate and all that. And yeah, so now I'm going to start pulling the drive shafts, and then we'll bring it back. Here we go. All right, so we got the rear drive shaft out. That's just a bunch of 8 mils. The front for the four-wheel drive here is that was 3/8, and then this here's 5/8. So sometimes people say, "Why you need all those tools for?" Well, if you work on old stuff like this, there's not a lot of metric on it. A vast majority is a standard. So therefore you need a pretty decent arsenal to be able to work on these things as well. Old tractors is no different. So, other way. So we're getting this drive shaft out. There was a skip plate here. We got that out of the way so it could get to the drive shaft, and so now we're getting really close to take the NV5600 off. So that's going to be a big one. I'm going to drain the fluids out of this first. So we got that out and out of the way, because I don't want to have a bunch of oil pissing out. And then we're going to work on the bolts here between the transmission and the NV5600. So we're going to take these bolts out. That's all the way around, and then when we're getting ready to drop this thing here, we'll bring it back. So here we go. Alright, she's still pissing. That transmission fluid looks nasty. We got all the nuts off right here. There's your speed sensor right there. And then there is a four-wheel drive indicator connector that's on the other side. Got my transmission jack in place. Put a block right here, and we're gonna wait till it's done pissing, and then we'll be ready to pull this sucker out. And don't forget to disconnect your shift linkage right there, your shift linkage off your transfer case. So, because the last thing you want is pull that heavy bastard all out and then being hung up on that shifter. So make sure you get that done. That is just a cotter pin and a washer, and you can give it a little thump and it'll come out. So alright, we'll bring it back here in just a minute when she's done taking the leak. Alright, so we got the T-case loose. We got to shove backwards. Here's your shift linkage. So we're going to take that other half off whenever we're getting ready for that. But so we got that loose. There is a breather on top right here. This one was sitting toward the fuel tank, or at the fuel tank. So make sure you pop that loose. It goes pretty easy. Shouldn't be too hard. So now I'm going to drop this sucker. Looks like we're going to need some more clearance. Oh yeah. There she is. Alright, time to pull her out. There you go. There's a bushing in there yet. Might as well get that out real quick while we're here. This here's an adapter bushing. That goes right there. Alright. So, now we got this big heavy bastard out. Don't underestimate the weight. I mean, that thing is solid cast iron, so she's heavy and full of gears. There's nothing light about it. So There you go. She's out. And now we're going to go off to the next thing. So here we go. Alright, so we got the shift linkage all out. I've got the tranny mount bolts out. We got all the wiring and the cooler lines unhooked. You got one there and then one there, and that goes across to the oil cooler that's at the engine, and then the oil cooler that's in the radiator. So got all those lines off. We basically got the transmission jack in place now. I mean, it's just sitting there now. I'm getting ready to pull the cross member here. I've got one bolt left on each side, that one and this side here, so getting ready to pull that. And then I left two bell housing bolts still in place. I've got the torque converter nuts or bolts off. The torque converter spins freely off the flex plate, sorry. So like I said, so got two bolts still left to do on the bell housing. I got one there and then one on the opposite side. So getting ready to do all that. I'm going to get the last part, a couple bolts out, and then we'll set you up on time lapse and on pulling the transmission. So here we go. Alright, so we're back under the truck. Took the flex plate off, and now we're getting ready to take the adapter plate off. That bolts to the Cummins engine and then up to the transmission. The one for the NV5600 is quite a bit deeper, but when we take this off, we'll lay them right next to one another, and so you can tell. Those bolts there for the flex plate were 18 mil. Those are going to be like 15. I still got to take the starter off, so we'll get that done. We'll get those 8 bolts out. There's 4 on each side, and as you can tell, by the way, you see the shininess here. That there's definitely a little bit of abuse going on there. But anyway, gonna take the starter off. Gonna take the flex, the adapter plate off, and then when I got that off, we'll lay it right next to the other one, and we'll bring it back. Here we go. All right, we got her out. I tell you what though, the one thing that caught me by surprise were these 3 bolts right here. They hold on the transmission oil cooler, or oil cooler, engine oil cooler, whatever. The transmission lines run through there. So anyway, so that bracket there hooks up to this right here. So if you have an oil cooler on your engine, which looks like a big round tube on the passenger side, that mounts to this right here. So now I'm going to lay them right next to one another, and y'all can see the difference between the one and the other. So if you see, this one has, I'd say, about 1.5 inches of a ledge. This one here is basically flush. So that's the biggest difference between the two. Other than that, everything else the same. Bolt pattern is the same. Everything is the same. It's just that. Even the bolt pattern for the transmission bolts, everything is the same except for the ledge between the one and the other. That is the only difference. So alright, we're going to cut the video off right here. We got everything off, and now we're getting ready to put everything on. So good point to cut this video off and get ready for the next video. So please like and subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot and don't cost nothing. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.